Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hey buddy. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Whoa. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hey buddy. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Haribol Gaur Haribol Nitai. Gaur Premanande. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paragata His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitila Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paragata His Divine Grace. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Book Distribution Marathon Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Guru Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 10, Text 51. Sha Esha Bhagavan Rajan. Looks like, come on, you guys will wake up a little bit, not just me. Sa Esha Bhagavan Rajan. Vatana Vihatam Yasaha. Vatanad Vihatam Yasaha. Pura Rudrasya Devasya. Pura Rudrasya Devasya. Maena Ananta Maina. Maena Ananta Maina. Sha Esha Bhagavan Rajan. Vyatanar Vihatam Jasaha. Pura Rudrasya Devasya. Maena Ananta Maina. Pura Rudrasya Devasya. Sa Esha Bhagavan Rajan. Vatanar Vihatam Jasaha. Pura Rudrasya Devasya. Maena Ananta Maina. Marajis. Esha Bhagavan Rajan. Vatanar Vihatam Jasaha. Pura Rudrasya Devasya. Maena Ananta Maina. Sa Esha Bhagavan Rajan. Vatanar Vihatam Jasaha. Pura Rudrasya Devasya. Maena Ananta Maina. Sa Esha Bhagavan. The same personality of Godhead Krishna, who is Parabrahman. Rajan, my dear king. Vatanat, expanded. Vihatam, lost. Yasaha, reputation. Pura, formerly in history. Rudrasya, of Lord Shiva, the most powerful among the demigods. Devasya, the demigod. Mayena, by a demon named Maya. Ananta, unlimited. Mayena, possessing technical knowledge. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear King Yudhishthira, long, long ago in history, a demon known as Mayadanava, who was very expert in technical knowledge, reduced the reputation of Lord Shiva. In that situation, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, saved Lord Shiva. Purport. Lord Shiva is known as Mahadev, the most exalted demigod. Thus, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that although Lord Brahma did not know the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva could have known them. This historical incident proves that Lord Shiva derives power from Lord Krishna, the Parabrahman. So this is the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam from the Canto 7, Chapter 10. This is the Prahlad, the best amongst exalted devotees. It's actually glories of Prahlad Maharaj. And in regard to that, explains in this chapter that various, from the beginning to the later on in this chapter, description of devotional service, actually. And in that, performing devotional service means to understand that who we are performing a service to, who? Krishna, the Supreme Lord. That is devotional service. Service done to anyone else is not known as devotional service. So here particularly Lord Shiva, Prabhupada explains, as the Mahadev, most exalted demigod. Actually, not only he is considered to a demigod, some places it's mentioned he's Bhagavan, like God. So, of course, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, but sometimes exalted devotee is also known as Bhagavan, because by their mercy you can know Krishna. So they are very exalted. But of course, those devotees, they never think they are Bhagavan. They think they are the lowest. That is the quality of a great devotee, that they exhibit their humility. So here, Mahadev, Lord Shiva, he is also known as Vaishnavanam Jatha Sambhu, the greatest Vaishnava. Because Lord Shiva, he always want to serve Krishna and chant Hare Krishna. He has a bead bag, not bead bag, beads that he's chanting japa on it, meditating on Krishna. Of course, Lord Shiva also has the power to benedict. So in this connection, there is this demon, Mayadanava. So actually, the story is that Lord Shiva, people come to Lord Shiva for benedictions, material benedictions. So, and he has the power to give the benediction. Sometimes he is so pleased with even demoniac people that he gives them freely benedictions. And so it happens that Krishna has to come and protect Lord Shiva, because that benediction that Lord Shiva gives to a demoniac people, because Lord Shiva is so easily pleased, then they turn against him. They turn the benediction against Lord Shiva, not knowing that those people are demons. They take advantage of Lord Shiva. It happens. Because the devotees are very pleased. But Krishna, he cannot fool Krishna. He's always there behind the devotees to protect the devotee. But we don't protest. Devotees are humble. But Krishna, knowing the surrender of a devotee, that Krishna will always be there for such devotee to protect them. So it's a very interesting point, because one should not give benediction to a demoniac person also. You have to be intelligent. But when someone pleases you, you feel like giving to benediction even to a demoniac person, because you're so pleased with them. But it depends on the individual. Like if it was me, he pleased me, that's okay. But I'm not going to just give out benedictions to a demon, even though they please me. So we have to sometimes understand within ourselves how to execute devotional service, in what context. You understand what I'm saying? Oh yeah, everybody is good. I know. That's fine. But at the same time, we have to make that distinction. That's why there is Uttama-adhikari, higher class devotee, who sees everyone as the pure devotees because they see Krishna in everyone. And then there is second class, which is Madhyama-adhikari, the middle class, who sees everyone as spirit soul, but they are not pure. They are fallen in the material body. So there is distinction, and he preaches accordingly. And Kanishta-adhikari, it is a lower, the lower class of devotee. Everyone is devotee in different classes. So he sees differently. He doesn't see everyone as spirit soul. He sees everyone as spirit soul, but at the same time, he doesn't have the strong faith in devotional service. But those who are higher, the Uttama-adhikari, the highest devotee, they see Krishna in everyone. Doesn't mean that they'll embrace a tiger, because they know the tiger will jump on him. So at the same time, this respect is there. So here, Lord Shiva, he was benedicting a demon, but because he was easily pleased. Lord Shiva is known as Asutosh, easily pleased. Sometimes he ended up giving benediction to a demon because he's so pleased with them. But Krishna knows that's the character of a pure devotee. They're so happy, they're so pleased. So Krishna will protect Lord Shiva. That's the same for us. We're performing those, we're not pure devotees, but we're in the process of performing devotional service. We're in the process of purification. We're in the process of serving to Krishna perfectly. Gradually, we'll get purified. So we can learn from Lord Shiva that to be sober, to be peaceful, to be convinced, to be faithful. That's the quality of a great devotee. A great devotee is of Krishna. He is perfect in every way. Your dad's listening?
I'm not too sure.
Okay. You got to tell him the day before that I'm giving the talk today, so he can know that he prepared. Maybe send him the schedule or something. Anyway, so Krishna consciousness is the highest platform. He's listening, huh? So, Hare Krishna, all the way to UK. Here I am. So, Krishna consciousness is the highest principle that we can adopt to develop in ourselves. We don't worship demigods, but we can learn from them. Demigods, they are, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, they are my servants. But they are not pure devotees. So they are sakha devotees. They are like friend of the devotees, or else they are motivated by material desires. But they're still devotees. You can worship demigod, but not for material gain. You can worship the demigods, ask them how I can serve Krishna. That is perfectly okay. But Krishna condemns worshipping the demigods. And so, if you go past a temple where they are worshipping Durga or Kali or any of the demigods, you can respect. Then, I'm Krishna's devotee. It happens sometimes. You become a devotee, suddenly you don't want to talk to your parents anymore, you don't want to talk to your mother anymore, and they're all in Maya. That's not the attitude. You have to learn to respect. I was like that when I first joined. And everybody said, you're brahmachari now, you don't even talk to your mother. It was kind of fanatical. But if you can be on this spiritual platform, a Krishna conscious devotee, a pure platform, you can learn to respect everyone. Because you're not affected by various material situations of this world. Because you understand, you are equipoised. You see Krishna in everything. You see Krishna is the person behind everything. So where is the question for us to be falling in Maya? Because we know Krishna is everything. We're not affected by it. If we can stay in that platform, you know what I mean? So, like I'm from Bengal, and we really worship demigod. You know, it's like around October, November, they all go out, just like here during the Christmas. They all buy themselves dress and they wear nicely and they go out. You know, I don't know about church, but they go here and there shopping, whatever. But in Bengal, they dress nicely, they buy clothes for each other, and they go see Durga, you know, demigod. But that is good. At least they have that culture. But we, as devotees, we know that demigods are Krishna's devotee. Krishna says, those who worship the demigod, they are worshipping me indirectly. So you have to understand the point. It's not that it's all neti-neti, that you reject everything. There's nothing you can reject. If you know the Shastra, the scriptural injunction, the philosophy, the concept behind the spiritual teachings and knowledge, you'll know that everything, when you put it in a proper context, you will understand that it's all connected to Krishna. Even material things are connected to Krishna. It's not for our enjoyment, but it's for Krishna's enjoyment. You understand? So, like, oh, it's all for me to enjoy. That is called Maya. Maya means when you separate Krishna and you put it in the center, this illusory potency. We were talking about some things last night. I forgot. What were you talking about?
Yeah, we talked about all sorts last night.
Huh?
We talked about the four
Oh, yeah.
pillars of society.
We were talking about last night about the 4 pillars of sin.
Yeah.
Like we follow the 4 principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no sex, no intoxication. So each of these things destroy different qualities, good qualities. So meat eating will destroy what? Compassion, mercy, and sex destroys cleanliness, and intoxication destroys truthfulness or austerity, sometimes they say it. And what's the other one? And gambling. Yeah. And gambling. Yeah, truthfulness. Sometimes they say austerity, the other one. Yeah, or sometimes it varies. You can say it either way. But they're all interrelated, either. So it's not that we are just doing for fun. We have to actually really understand that these things are very serious things to follow, these principles. And it's like, I'm a devotee. But you actually really have to understand this principle and adopt these principles strictly in our heart. It's not a fashion that we wear a nice sari and a dhoti, tilak, and we go around. But we actually have to have the characteristics, qualities of a devotee. And Srila Prabhupada speaks about the character, the qualities of a pure devotee. He had those qualities. He was not just talking about it. He actually had those qualities. Sometimes we may be talking about it, but we don't really have those qualities in our heart. So we have to work at it by developing the characteristics of a sadhu, a devotee. So Lord Shiva is so merciful. And at the same time, he has his own planet. Lord Shiva has his own planet. Imagine that. We work so hard to get a nice house somewhere on Albert Park, very expensive home, whole life, and we're paying it off. But Lord Shiva has his own planet. Can you imagine? Own planet. Like you own the whole of Australia for yourself. But he is living under a tree, chanting Hare Krishna, covered in ashes, with ghosts and so renounced. And chanting Hare Krishna. Rama bole, it is just, Chatur mukhe, Hare Ram, and there's a song that we sing, that Lord Shiva is chanting on beads under a tree in Kailash, in a hill, near a hill. And he has the whole planet to himself, but he's just living in a hut. Because he knows that everything is Krishna's, he's not affected by all those things. So that's why Lord Shiva is glorified as Mahadev. Mahadev means what? Greatest of the demigod. You know, demigods, they're proud that they're in the heavenly planets and they're enjoying. You know, here they drink the wine and beer and stuff. Here, they have a drink up there too, known as samuras. You heard that before? You drink that, and you don't get a headache afterward. No side effects. They're drinking, and they have a swimming pool that if you get hurt, you just dive into it, and it's all heals straight away. That's why people go up there. Oh, I want to go to heaven. But they are not Krishna conscious. Krishna's devotee, they want to go where they can remember Krishna, where they can serve Krishna. Doesn't matter, even hell. They don't mind to go to hell because if they can perform devotional service. And Prabhupada used to say, when Prabhupada was in New England, they asked him, can you tell what is a hell? Prabhupada said, your country is hell. You're living in hell. Raining always, freezing cold, people are all morose. That's the definition of hell. We don't need to go to hell to experience what hell is. You can be right here and feel hell in this world. This last couple of years they had the COVID. People are suffering like hell. Stuck in a home, breaking the window to go out. You think that's not hell? So in the heavenly planets, there's so much enjoyment. And nobody gets old. They stay till the end. They stay young, always. But when the time comes to die, oh, boom, there's no prior notice. They may be in the middle of drinking somewhere else, and here, time's up. Come down here in the material world, down here. Hey, let me finish my drink at least. That's heavenly planets. At least here in the middle planetary system where we are, here in this world, we are given prior notice. What is old age? Krishna is showing at least the old age comes, we know this is a warning. That's why the sannyas at the age of 50, 60, take sannyas, the final stage of life. At least at that time of life, you can take to Krishna consciousness. And Krishna is waiting for us. The prime time of our life is younghood. And we're enjoying. But then when you turn 50, 60, 70, I'm falling apart, body's falling apart. I go to the temple and serve Krishna. We have to use our body while we can. We don't know how long we have. That's the position of the people living here. But we are so fortunate, so lucky that we don't have to live so long. We can be here a very short time and serve Krishna in this very short time and go back to Godhead. If you go to heavenly planet, you enjoy for thousands of years, and then you come down here. When we are all going back to Godhead, they come here. At the end of Kali Yuga, the suffering triple, multiplied. So now is the time to get out of here. So it's a very serious thing, performing devotional service. You don't have to be so serious about material life. Home, money, job, this thing will come. Anybody in the street has these things. If you're loitering in the street because you're lazy, you don't want a job. But there's plenty of work there. But what we have to be serious about is spiritual life. Chanting Hare Krishna, associating with devotees. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is doing. That's what Mahadev, Lord Shiva, is aspiring for. He's not attached to any of the position he has in the Lord Shiva's planet. It's a heavenly planet, a spiritual world. But Lord Shiva himself, he is aloof from all of that. He lives in a hut. He's completely satisfied performing service to Krishna. Just like us. We have the complete facility for our enjoyment. You know, we have the nice room there, you can sleep, nice people serving you and bringing food for you, and you have nice bed to sleep. But that is not your real enjoyment. Real enjoyment is associating with devotees, doing service to Krishna. You know, I was working so hard, I can't wait to finish. No, we are enjoying every moment of serving Krishna. Why do you think the gopis are the highest devotees? They're not lazy sitting around. They're cooking for Krishna, cleaning for Krishna, thinking all day of Krishna, day and night. The Goswamis of Vrindavan, they are actually gopis, manjaris, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and you look at their life. They're so absorbed in Krishna. The Raghunath Das Goswami, he used to pay obeisances around Vrindavan every day, around Govardhan Hill. Thousands of obeisances, chanting so many rounds. He didn't have even time to go to the bathroom. That observed he was in Krishna. Right now, there is the book marathon going on, Srila Prabhupada's book marathon, book distribution. It's a very intense activity. Can everybody sit down? There's too much disturbance going on. So, Srila Prabhupada's books are the basis. Books are the basis, purity is the force, and what's the other one? Books are the basis, purity is the force. There's one more.
Associations.
Yeah. Huh? Utility is the principle. Thanks. Utility is the principle, books are the basis, purity is the force. Why the books are the basis? Because this is the basis of our spiritual life. So we are distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. We can talk a lot here in the temple day and night, but Prabhupada said, if you distribute my books, then the knowledge spread wide and far. Like a radio. And people don't turn on the radio anymore because you can get it all in a phone. So similarly, these books are the basis. If you distribute Prabhupada's books, that's what pleases Prabhupada the most. Prabhupada said, those who distribute my books, I am easily pleased. Somehow we have to make an effort to distribute Prabhupada's books this month, especially this month. I remember when they put me on the street in Sydney. This is in the 1980s. They said, you stay here till finish distributing all these books. A big bag of Back to Godhead, this many. And nobody was taking. I was like frustrated. 1 hour went by, I couldn't distribute one book. And that time I was around just 20, like, very passionate. And I'm still is. So I couldn't stop anybody. People just whoosh, whoosh, going from my face. So I didn't know what to do. I was praying to Krishna, I went to Mangalarati, I chanted all my rounds. I did everything perfectly. Still it wasn't working. I couldn't stop a person to give one Back to Godhead. So I was so frustrated. 1 hour went by, I couldn't stop anyone. So how hard it is to distribute Prabhupada's books. So it's required a lot of surrender. You have to cry, go to the side of the road somewhere when no one's around and cry, oh Krishna, please help me. That's the intention, that's the intensity of serving Krishna. Please Krishna, It's not like, everything's going easy. I don't know, I make a big show of it. Yeah, that's easy. You have to, like Srila Prabhupada, he went to America on his own. And he said, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no this, that. And everybody says, forget it. What else? Go back to India. I'm not going to give up these things. This is my life to enjoy like this. You know, how hard to make a single person, a single Westerner to a devotee. But Prabhupada did it. All his god brothers, they went to America, not even America, up to Europe, and they came back. They said, impossible. No one can give up these things. But Prabhupada was very smart. He just chanted Hare Krishna under a tree, like a monk. He didn't ask anyone anything. And everybody came, and they saw the Swamiji chanting, they joined him. Gradually, they liked the chanting. Gradually, after a while, he started to implement the principle. Bang, bang, no illicit sex, no gambling. They said, we didn't expect this. But by that time, they already developed the taste for chanting. They loved it. They like it. For the Prabhupada knew the technique. That's what he says, technical in this purport. Devotional service is technical. How to preach Krishna consciousness is a technique. So I was standing 1 hour, I couldn't distribute one book. I was totally frustrated. I went down to the side, Krishna, please help me. I only cried when somebody beat me, but that day I was really beaten. Nobody beat me, but I was so humbled. So I had to go to the side of the road and pray, Krishna, please. So I came back, still wasn't working. So I thought, I'm not going to use any technique. I'm going to just stop someone, grab by the neck, and just I said, hey you, stop right there. Give me $20 now. I didn't say books or anything. He said, yeah, sure, here. I said, wow, that works. No technique, just works. After that, I was just selling books like hotcake. Something that gave me the inspiration from within. That I went to the side of the road and I was crying, that worked. Krishna from within told me, don't use technique, just grab somebody. And he wasn't so big, so he was just my size. So I picked somebody. I said, yeah, sure, $20. That's in the 80s, $20 is a lot of money. I said, go. I didn't want to even bother giving a book. I was just so frustrated. Yeah. Thank you, take a hike. And then I was giving books. People, yeah, sure, yeah. How much, I gave out all the magazines and I had this much money. And so, sometimes we have to pray to Krishna. Krishna from within will give us the knowledge. But you think, yeah, I can do it. That doesn't work, never works. I grew up in Mayapur, near the Ganga. Who's been to Mayapur? They have the Ganga river there, very, very tough to swim in the Ganga river. You have to be, doesn't matter how good of a swimmer you are. You say, oh yeah, I'm a swimmer, professional swimmer, But you can't cross the Ganges river, it's so tough. I grew up in Mayapur, can swim across the Ganges, even during the flood. We knew the technique, how to swim, because the current, he can drag you down. And so there's one devotee from Australia, said, I'm a swimmer, I swim in the ocean, what are you? We said, no, don't swim, you will get drowned, you'll be drowned. He said, no, he jumped in. And there was an island in the middle, we were going to the island, and to play soccer in the island, the middle of the island, because there's no people there. It's very beautiful, a lot of sand, clean beach there. And he jumped in, and he was drowning. We said, sorry, we can't save you because it's not easy to save you. So there's a fisherman down there. He helped him to pick him up. So my point is, you have to know the technique of preaching Krishna consciousness. So to pray to Krishna. It's not always the technique, like I said, the technique is the blessing of a guru, the blessing of Krishna, blessing of Mahadev, Lord Shiva. That's why we go to the demigod, even though we're not supposed to worship demigod. But the demigod can bless you to serve Krishna. Understand? So this purport, it explains it all, that it requires humility to perform devotional service. Even a demoniac person attracted someone who is humble. You can't beat. If you are humble, you are the winner. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Trinadapi sunichena. A devotee must be humbler than grass. Why? Because people stepping on the grass. The grass will say, hey you, stop! It doesn't protest. Trinadapi sunichara sahishtuna, amanina manadena. People don't respect you like a tree. They're standing in the freezing cold winter, in the hot summer, people cutting the branches off. The trees don't complain, they don't protest. So devotees have to be as tolerant as a tree, humbler than the grass. Yeah? That's how it works. You can gain, you can attract Krishna when Krishna sees our mood of approaching Krishna consciousness through our humility. That's why it says, devotees are higher than the demigods. There's a verse, it says that. Devotees are higher than demigods. You can ask devotees, they can bless you. Especially in Melbourne temple, oh, Prabhuji, can you give me a blessing, Asirvad? Because they know devotees have the power to bless. We have the power to bless. I go to devotees' home, they always jump on my feet for blessing. That's why I always wear socks, even in the summertime. If people touch your feet, you take the karma. Even Prabhupada used to, didn't allow everyone to touch his feet. I like the idea of wearing a socks. Even I was in a hot country like India, a place where I lived in China and Hong Kong, very hot. I wore socks. They said, why do you wear socks? And people respect you, they touch your feet and you take the karma. You wear socks, they're touching the socks, not me. Or at least that kind of way of thinking. But devotees have power to bless. Really. Said, you're just a cook. You're just a pujari. Prabhupada said, pujari is the highest because you are dealing with Krishna directly. And Prabhupada said, those who are distributing books, they're the highest. He encouraged everybody equally. But I'm telling you, distributing books why is it highest? Because it's so tough. It's so difficult. I remember I was living at the manor, in the UK, and they have special prasadam for the book distributors. I said, I want to eat that special prasadam. They said, if you go out and distribute books, you can eat the special prasadam. I said, yeah, I'll go and distribute books. So I went out with them. Oh my God, it was so hard. What's the name of that place? So they gave me a clipboard, you write on. So the idea is to have the clipboard and people are just zooming. There's no time to stop. So the idea is to wag their clipboard on their face, so just to get their attention. So I had the clipboard. Hey, you can just stop for a minute. Hey, what do you want? Then you can at least get them to stop. Then you can talk to them about something, whatever. So at least you have to get them to stop. So I had this clipboard, swinging in their face, and then they stop. But for me it was so tough. It was freezing cold. So I said, So I went in the supermarket, in the shopping center. It was warm in there. And I couldn't distribute the books the whole day, not even one. Then I came back, I said, I don't need the good prasadam. I said, okay, I'll have the simple prasadam with other devotees. But I don't want to go distribute books. It's really, really tough. So they sacrifice, go out, distribute books in freezing cold and austerity. That's austerity. But once you surrender, once you give in to Krishna, when you surrender to Krishna and not to the demands of your senses, Krishna will bless you instantly. Not like me, every time I go in the kitchen, oh no, I don't want to cook today for those guys. And they just come, up there and take prasadam. they can find their own way to eat. Go to like a McDonald's, something. But I was thinking, but then once I enter the kitchen, I just feel fantastic. It's like walking in the temple room. You just feel, this is the place to be. You just feel purified. This is a spiritual atmosphere. Almost instantly, you feel very Krishna conscious. That's why sadhusanga. You have to force yourself to be Krishna conscious. You have to work hard to overcome our senses. You have to, that's what it requires. Endeavor. That's what Krishna says, Drihabrata. He says, my devotees are working for me with great determination. And Drihabrata. And faith. Shraddhavan. Why? That's why Lord Shiva is known as highest devotee. Because Lord Shiva, he's bombarded by all kinds of people. Oh, give me this, give me that, give me a house, give me a good wife, give me a good husband, give me money, give me wealth, give me good health. Everyone is bothering him. So he just goes in the field when people don't come to bother him. Because Lord Shiva knows these things cannot satisfy you. The real opulence of a devotee is in his spiritual character, love for Krishna. You know, people working so hard. It's like the Indian, when you come here, you want to get your PR. But this is so hard work to get a PR. To live here. Government is taking all your money. By the time you get your PR, maybe you're 70 or all your money is gone. This is an illusion. I was just in India, such a wonderful place. I loved it there. Maybe because people like you. But you can live everywhere if you want to serve Krishna. You are equally happy because Krishna is there everywhere. But if you're looking for sense enjoyment, if you're looking for indriya tripti, enjoyment of the senses, this is not the place for it. Mandir, spiritual atmosphere, is a temple, is a place to serve Krishna. It's Krishna's place. We don't come here, I am this, I am that, I am the self-centered. Krishna is. Otherwise, why don't you go on the altar if you're self-centered? Put Krishna here and you go and stand there, play flute. This is the temple, it's Krishna's place. Everything here we do is for Krishna's pleasure. Cooking for Krishna, dressing Krishna. As somebody who is not Krishna's devotee says, oh, he's getting a lot of this attention. You guys are so crazy for Krishna. You're brainwashed. In the 60s and 70s, they used to call Hare Krishna's brain, you're being brainwashed. Look, you're chanting Hare Krishna, you can't help yourself. You're brainwashed. I remember, I'm telling you a story. I joined at the age of 6, and so there was a meeting in a temple office, doing the Guru Puja. So they called me and my mother to the room, to the temple office. So we're like, oh, what's going on? So we're scared. So anyway, we went up in the temple office during the Guru Puja time. It's very serious. They called us during the Guru Puja. It means it's very serious. It's we needed to know what it is. So there was the temple manager, Bhavananda, big guy, a guy from America. He was sitting there. He said, so he asked me, like, do you want to? What do you want? You want to stay in Hare Krishna, become a devotee, or you want to go with your dad? But he was there in the room, and my mother too. So me and my mother, we decided to stay in ISKCON and not go with my father, but he was against us. Somehow this all arranged by Krishna. So I had to think quickly, because I told my father before, I said, no, I'm going with you, I'm not going with my mother. But at that time, I was in the temple office. I had to quickly think and make a decision right there. So I looked at everybody. I thought to myself, I'm staying here. in ISKCON with my mother. So my father got really, really angry. He slammed the door, went out. He said, "You told me before you're coming with me." I said, "Oh, I sorry, changed my mind." So then 2 weeks later, we had to go to a court in Navadip. And so this is almost like a movie you can make out of it. So it's standing in a railing, back of the railing, and so I had to repeat what the judge says. So he said, "What do you want to do?" Same thing. Do you want to go stay with your mother in ISKCON, or you want to go with your dad? I said, "I will stay with my mother in ISKCON." And so so the judge made a report. He says, "This boy is too young, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's brainwashed by Hare Krishnas, by these white people." So that was the thing. So I was brainwashed. Here I am, still washing my brain, chanting Hare Krishna. That's what it does. They wash our Cheta Darpana Marjanam, cleanses our heart and our brain. So it doesn't get cleansed easily. It takes a long time to clean the brain. Because material desire, how do you clean the desires? So only way to clean the desire is chanting Hare Krishna, associating with the devotees. Yeah. So we take things very seriously in Krishna consciousness, and to follow the example of Mahadev, we have to follow the example of Prahlad Maharaj, and we have to follow the example of Srila Prabhupada, follow the example of your guru. Whoever is your guru, follow their example, and you follow the example of the devotees around us. So we are full of varieties in spiritual life. We have so many people that we can take shelter of, to listen to associate with. It's not vacant. Just like we have this temple. If there's no temple, you make your temple in your home and serve Krishna there. If you don't have a home, you're homeless, make yourself Krishna conscious. Krishna sitting in your heart as a temple. And we have all this facility. Still is finding difficulty to serve Krishna. Why is this temple here? Because Prabhupada has given us the facility to serve Krishna, to get purified. It's not that it's all empty. That's why we have this temple here. So we can be here and serve Krishna, get purified. That's why we have this temple. So this is a spiritual institution where you all come together and glorify Krishna, glorify Prahlad Maharaj, glorify Lord Shiva. It's a nice thing to say nice things about others. Be thankful. Isn't it? It's nice things. You feel good, oh, thank you. Say something nice, it goes a long way. And then you think in your heart, oh, he said this so nice. So we're supposed to create that positivity through spiritual knowledge, spiritual teachings. That happiness, spiritual happiness, that can overtake the deep in our heart. So this month we are distributing these books. These books is full of knowledge. Not that we give books, we are expected to know what's in it also. So if you're distributing books, what's in it? Sorry, I have to look up. I give you one slap, then it's, oh yeah, I got it. I remember I grew up in a Gurukul. Every day, during the school days, not during the holiday, before lunch, we have to repeat one verse. Stand up like this, the teacher will be there, all the prasadam is there, and you stand like this, and they ask you to quote one Bhagavad Gita verse. And if you didn't know, you have to just go down there and learn and come back again before they give you the prasadam. I think it's a good idea. We could be doing it here. All the people come up there, one verse, oh sorry, go and learn it and come back. It's a good thing. And I remember those days they had cards. They write down all the verses. Whenever you have a time sitting in a tram or a bus or you're walking, whenever we have an extra time, you can read and study that verse. So you don't waste your time idly. So use your time to serve Krishna. Become learned, scholarly. There's one boy in the sannyasi list, the African boy, and he's got 2 more years before he can take sannyas. So you have to know the knowledge. You have to be knowledgeable to take sannyas. It's not that anyone can just become a sannyasi. You have to spiritually aware of the knowledge of the books. So Prabhupada used to randomly ask, what is that verse? He said, sorry Prabhupada, those days they didn't have a Google or anything like that to find the verse. You have to know it. Prabhupada chastised them. I was doing the Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, so many ways to learn these days. We have so many classes, online classes to learn this philosophy. So I remember a couple of weeks ago I was at Gold Coast, we went for Harinam, and these boys, they were in a room, we go Harinam from 6:30 in the evening till 11:30 at night, and they were super tired. The daytime they'd be studying. I went to the beach, they'd be all studying, very, very serious, very seriously. You can't sit down in a room all day and study, it's not easy. And a couple of years ago when they had the COVID, people were going nuts. They were stuck in the room, they're killing each other. But devotees, they can find time to study. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, towards the end of his life, he was 4 months in the Gambhira. You know, Gambhira means very sober, in a tiny room in Jagannath Puri, chanting japa day and night, 4 months. We find difficult to sit in a room, because we're not taking shelter of Krishna. We're looking to enjoy, we have to go out. You go out in the city, what is there city to give you? Nothing there. People are frustrated. Look at the window, and you get more tired looking at stuff. He didn't even do shopping, come back with a toothpaste. Didn't do shopping, but yet so tiring because you're looking at stuff. But you can sit in the temple, chant Hare Krishna. That's much more pleasurable than looking at stuff. So the spiritual life is giving us the highest pleasure that offers, that Maya can offer you. The spiritual happiness is beyond any type of happiness you can get in this world. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, simply by studying Srila Prabhupada's books. So, I already know it, I already read so many times. No, when you read the same thing twice, because it's spiritual, it's transcendental, it's everlasting, it's every time you read it, it's ever fresh. That's what it does. Spiritual things, that's what it does. In the spiritual world, everything is new. Nothing deteriorates. It's always green. Like here, there's a season, and then winter, all the leaves fall off. In the spiritual world, it's always present. Even if there's season, the leaves not going to fall off. It will fall off if they want to, but it is spiritual. We don't understand. Everything is ever fresh. In the material world, the world we're living in, is all deteriorating. It's temporary. It's falling apart. But everybody wants to live forever. Everybody wants to live young forever, because that is our real nature. We want, because that is our nature. We were put into a situation where we have to suffer the consequences. Old age, disease. We don't want to be old, because we are eternal by nature. Any questions? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please bear with me, I'm going to try and articulate this question I have for you, because I find it interesting about how these 4 principles kind of destroy these qualities within us.
Yep.
So one interesting thing is the meat eating thing, because okay, it's one thing, we understand killing a cow is obviously going to destroy your compassion. But for somebody who is just eating a cow, who's just thinking, I'm just eating it, I didn't kill it, I'm in no way involved in this, so how is that destroying the compassion within them?
Good question, because I was going to say that the 6 people are involved in the same, they equally share the karma, 6. So he said, I didn't kill it, I'm just eating it. The person that eats, person transports it, person kills it, cooks it, transporting it, the person sells it, and who else? They all equally share the karma. He said, no, I didn't eat it, I just cook it. I'm vegetarian. But no, but you're cooking it, you are equally involved in the karma. So, the karmic reaction is he supporting it. So still same, we have to suffer. So you can't, there's no excuse. It's like, oh, I didn't eat it, but I'm just cooking it for my friend or whatever. But no. So that's, you have to share the karma.
So, from a practical way of understanding this, because we think of karma, we think it's so far out, it's theoretical, you know, we don't really see it, so it's very subtle. From a very practical standpoint, for anyone who is eating meat or eating steak or cows, like what can they expect in their life through stopping doing that?
The thing is, why we are so strict about it, the saintly character of any human being, what makes us a human being is that we understand that something that moves has a consciousness, something that moves has a life. Life and matter, dead matter is 2 different things. Like this microphone is a dead matter, there's no life, there's no, like you don't feed it. So, when you can identify an individual by their consciousness, there's movement. What life means, this movement, this activity, there is, they have eyes they look at. So, only human being has life, others don't have a life. So I was just telling you last night, like if someone in your family born as dumb and deaf, doesn't have a life, cook it up. That's what it comes to. So the animals, they have their own way of expressing their own language. They communicate different ways, but they're born here. But our duty as a human being to protect them, because it's not that we are superior to animals, but the superior means we don't dominate over them, but to protect them. That's what it means. So, the difference between matter and life is that it's in its consciousness. And how you define that? The consciousness, define the consciousness because that's something that has movement. Something that's growing, like a plant. It has a consciousness, very low consciousness, but it's growing. There's a seed and it grows. So, there's no excuse. We as a human being, we are responsible for karma, just like Prabhupada gives the example, a child touches the fire, it will burn. Child doesn't know. The fire is not going to make any distinction. So we are expected to know as a human being, the karmic reaction is there for us to suffer, like it or not. Understand? So, it's not a very, like, oh, I didn't know. Like if you come to Australia, you drive, you have to know the rules of driving. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, new place, no, then don't drive. So we expected to know as a human being the laws of karma. He said, oh, I didn't know. The cow killing, Prabhupada said, is the result of killing a cow is a war. People talking about environment, climate change, that's okay. But the real problem is cow killing. Due to that is war. If I'm living here peacefully, I don't hurt anyone, where is the question of war? Violence comes from a violence. So, karma is a very complicated process. But just like I was telling you, when this guy, Yasser Arafat, he was a big person in Middle East, he died, and he didn't die. He was in a coma for a long time. So sometimes devotees say, when someone in that position of a person, that he's in a coma for that long, that's because the Yamadutas, his karma is so big, so much, that they needed more time to calculate. So he's in a coma. You understand? So karma is so much that they don't know what to do with him. So he's in a coma while they need more time to calculate how to punish him. So if in this world everything is managed so nicely, the society, lighting and the city and everything is going, so there is also demigods who are managing the planet, the world, us, three gunas, the three modes of material nature. They are managing us according to what we do. This has all been recorded. Just like go to India or any country, you have to have a visa, right? So similarly, it's not that you can jump in an airplane and go to moon planet. You have to have the karma to go there, or heavenly planets, or anywhere. So the karma is what makes the war. So if devotees, you ate meat, you killed the cows, but you become a devotee, your karma is reduced. You don't have a karma anymore. Just like if you go to the prison. Why do you go to the prison? For correction. So they're watching you, how you behave according to your behavioral activity and your daily routine of your behavioral. They release you early so we're a correctional place in this world. So if we give up all those bad habits, meat eating, intoxication, gambling, sex, chant Hare Krishna and surrender to Krishna, karma is reduced. That's like the fan. Turn the fan off. It's on number 5. And it goes to number 1. The fan's still running. Then you turn the fan off. It's still running. So sometimes as a devotee, we still have the effect of the karma from previous times, but it's being reduced. And Prabhupada gives the example of a person, instead of losing our head, we get a cut in the finger. So Krishna is constantly blessing us, but we need to reduce the reason why the world today there's less karma. The world will be more karma now because the Hare Krishna movement, so much chanting, deity worship, these things have reduced the karma of the world today, actually. I remember when I came here, there's hardly anyone vegetarian. You couldn't find anything Indian, even in a supermarket or anywhere. But now, there's so many Indians here, you can buy Indian rice, spices, even in the Coles in the supermarket. This is due to the preaching of the Hare Krishna movement. We are constantly preaching, become vegetarian, give up this karma, reactions. This is why. And we serve such sumptuous prasadam. People have no choice to not eat. They give up those meat eating. One Mataji comes here, she got very sick eating at McDonald's, and then he ate at a Crossways, and then she got better. So the karma is reduced by becoming vegetarian, by not killing. But still, the Prabhupada says there is karma even by killing a plant, because plant also has a life. So sometimes people say, oh, you killing plants. But Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam. If you offer me fruit, flower, leaf, or water, with devotion I accept it. So when you offer to Krishna, then Krishna has the power to extract the karma. But he didn't say, offer me meat. Even Jesus didn't eat meat. Anyway, the Christianity, they always eat meat. But he is the founder. He didn't eat any meat. He was vegetarian. That's why he said, eat what I have given you, seed, herbs. Why did he say that? And they said, thou shalt not kill. They changed the context. He said, don't kill. It means anybody. Starts with the human being and animals. They translate to something else. To suit their own understanding, to justify them. They said, thou shalt not murder. But it doesn't mean, it means animals too. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of ways to understand the karma. So this war in the world today is because of killing of too many animals. If you stop killing animals, then you see the difference. It's not the environmental problem. We drive car, we go on an airplane, but because we're doing it for Krishna. In a Ganesh and Shiva, they're so powerful. They can go, just, it's all the air is clean instantly, if they want. Just like ocean can come and flood all this place. So powerful. Demigod can just blow and the air is all clean. There's no problem, pollution. But you can't clean the karma. That's very, very tough. Only God can clean. Karmani nirdahati kintuja bhakti bhajam. Brahma said, Karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. By worship, bhakti, bhaja, worship. Karmani nirdahati can burn away your karma. Only through devotional service. The karma can be washed away or burned away. Even demigods don't have power to reduce your karma. Only Krishna. Only the spiritual master. So there's many issues about this.
I do have one more, but if anyone else wants to ask a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you mentioned how the demigods are servants of Lord Krishna and they are also devotees, but they are motivated by for material desires. So my question is, you said that we should pray to the demigods but not worship them. Pray to them so that they can help us in worshipping Lord Krishna nicely. So if they are not pure devotees, why should we ask them to help us if they are themselves motivated by material desires?
You all got the understand what she said? So, if somebody is obsessed with desire, you want something, like you want to release something, you bug your mother, oh, I want this, I want that, till she give up and gives you. Understand what I'm saying? So the demigod, they can give. But if you bug them, oh give me, and they'll give you. Even as devotees, like I told you before, once before I went to the church. I was just fed up being at the temple with the devotees. I wanted a break. I wanted the church. And I was get away from the Hare Krishna devotees. Sometime I had that feeling. So I went to the church, huge church in Sydney, in the Hyde Park. And there's nobody around in the church, just me. I thought, I don't want to be here. So I went back to the temple. I felt like, there's no life there. It's very huge. It's nice, but there's no dynamicness. We have a small temple, but there's full of life here. So sometimes you go to the demigod because you're obsessed with desire. You ask them for material things. But if someone who is a devotee, he's pure, he's satisfied with chanting Hare Krishna with very little. He doesn't ask anyone. He's satisfied being with Krishna. So those who are, even those who are devotees, maybe they're not pure devotees, or they have desires. They may go to demigod, but there's nothing wrong to go to demigod. Like I said before, if you have desire to serve Krishna, he asks the demigods, please help me how I can serve Krishna nicely. So that becomes spiritual. So demigod, they don't have the power within their power to give everything. But I reckon all of us have the power to benedict. If you are sincere in heart, you can say, Hare Krishna, I wish you have a nice day. Everybody says, have a nice day. They're blessing you. So everybody, all of us, has the power to help each other if we want, if you're sincere. That's why when pure devotee says something, it becomes true. Not only demigod. Like, when Prabhupada said something, he was a mystic. Prabhupada's a mystic. Everything he said, it came true. He said there'd be a temple in Mumbai. They were working hard to build a temple. Prabhupada was very serious, and there's a big temple there, so famous, and Vrindavan, Mayapur. So whatever he said, it came true. And Prabhupada came here, just his lotus feet touched this place here, and it's become so popular. That's his mercy. Some places he didn't go, they're still struggling to build a temple. So it's not that you're demigod, you have the power to do everything, no. And Indra poured down water in Vrindavan to punish Krishna. And then he found out Krishna is Supreme Lord. He's a small boy. He didn't know that Krishna was God. And then when so sometimes demigods gets illusion, by illusory potency, and they get carried away with their power. Even us, we have money, home, this, that, we become enamored by it, and we forget Krishna. So demigods like that, they forget Krishna. Okay? Give him the microphone.
Probably when I was growing up in England, the only thing we really knew about Indians, was that they worshipped cows. That was like one of the things that we knew. We knew that Indians worship cows. So that was just an English thing. And I know Prabhupada said that cow killing is the grossest form of ignorance, the grossest. So can you speak a little bit about the relationship between man and cow, and why is it that the cow is such a big, glorified thing? Yeah.
You see, you like it or not, we worship cow in India because cow is Krishna's favorite animal. That's why Krishna is known as Govinda. Go means cow. Binda means one who gives pleasure to the cows. So Krishna, he's Bhagavan, he's God. What is the need for him to have a cow? How do you relate to that? And he's the owner of the universe. And he's living in Vrindavan, in a forest, like a villager. Because what gives pleasure to Krishna is that Sudha, that pure pleasure, is just by being with animals. Don't think those cows are just no ordinary cows. They're Surabhi cows. They're particularly those cows, they give pleasure to Krishna. So we in India, we understand that Vedic principles, Go Brahmana Hitayacha, that we worship the cows and the Brahmanas because that's how we can approach Krishna. We go by the religious principles. Suppose in India, we take cow dung and they clean the house with it. Even scientists say the cow dung is actually antiseptic. So if you put cow dung, you say, oh, this is a stool of an animal. This is like gross. But we're not simply accepting it because it's antiseptic, but because it says in the scripture. So we follow the Vedic principles as the dharma, as the priority, as a higher principle. So we worship cows or not worship the cows, but we worship or not, whatever it is, because we accept the religious principle as the ultimate source of knowledge. Understand? So if we follow the dharma, it's not man-made, because we accept the shastra, the scriptures, then whatever the scripture says, we accept it. If the scripture says, go ahead and eat meat, we will. But because Krishna says, Patram Pushpam, offer to me fruit, flower, water, I will accept it if it's offered in devotion. He didn't say, you can offer me meat. So if somebody wants to eat meat, they perhaps may change the philosophy, like the Bible, to suit their own indriya tripti, to suit their own enjoyment. But we don't do that kind of stuff. Shastra as it is. If you want to please Krishna, you have to accept it as it is, not make up something. That is something else. So, cow worship, it's not something new. Krishna 5,000 years ago, he protected the cows. He had 9 lakhs of cows, 900,000. Who in the world has that many cows? We don't even have that kind of land to put them all. 900,000 cows. It's very mystical, Vrindavan. And he put them all under the Govardhan hill when the torrential rain was coming down from Indra. Because Krishna, his favorite animal, like people here have favorite animal, dog or cat. Krishna has, so nothing wrong in that. So we are followers of Krishna. We are not followers of cat and dog. We follow what Krishna did. We don't imitate Krishna, but we can follow his instruction. You can't imitate Krishna. He lifted the hill, Govardhan hill. We can't do that. But we can follow his instruction as a devotee of Krishna. So sometimes it's bewildering to Westerner. So how they can worship cow? We eat the cow. Well, why don't you eat your dog? What's the definition of love? You eat one and protect the other? What does that mean? You go, you love your chicken, next thing you know it's on your table. It just doesn't make sense. You worship your cat and dog, and then you're eating the cow. Where is your sense of understanding? How does it make a human being? Love means anything that moves, they have the right to live. Even an ant. There was a story of a king, a hunter. He used to take great pleasure in killing people, human beings, animals, and leave them half dead. And So one day Narad Muni was coming. He said, "You are doing a great sin. You will suffer for this." He said, "Who said?" So Narad Muni, he's a mystic yogi. He with his hand, he said, he showed him in his next life, all those animals are torturing him. He said, wow, he was shocked. And then he says, you have to suffer for the karma. He said, no, I'm providing for my family. They'll protect you. He said, no, they're not going to protect you from the karma. So he went to his wife at home. He said, I'm working so hard for you. Will you share my karma? He said, no, you work for me, but sorry, I can't share your karma. That's your business. Understand? And then he went to his son, I'm providing for you guys. Will you share my karma? He said, no, you can provide, but karma, that's your job. So he came running back to Narad Muni. So Narad Muni, he said, you throw your bow and arrow and you chant Hare Krishna in front of the Tulasi. So he did that. So one day, Narad Muni was flying, coming down from the spiritual world and with his friend. Narad Muni can fly with his spiritual body. So on the way, when they're coming down from the top, they saw his disciple, Megari the hunter. And he was very excited to see his guru coming. So he was jumping like a monkey, like over the land. So his friend, Narad Muni's friend, who's behind him, he says, hey, he knocked on his back and he said, how come you got a funny disciple who's just jumping around like that? So then he said, yeah, I don't know what happened. So when they came down and they asked, why you were jumping like that? He said, because there was ants. So I don't want to step over the ants, so that's why I had to jump. Before he was killing, and now he doesn't even want to kill an ant. That's the qualification of a sadhu. Not even hurt an ant. What to speak of just saying, thou shalt not kill, and then while you eat. That's like saying, don't smoke, and then you're smoking. See? So does it answer?
Yeah, my dad said he wishes you good health.
What's that?
My dad said that he wishes you good health.
Oh, thanks. Same to him.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, thank you very much. We talked a lot, and I got to stop here. And Hare Krishna, have a nice day.